It was the suggested amendments to the bill by the National Council of Provinces that threw a span in the works with regards to the signing into law of the Electoral Amendment Bill. The amendments relate to technical matters such as quotas and thresholds for contesting independence, as well as a possibility that the bill be implemented post the 2024 elections. Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs, after seeking legal advice, has asked for 6 additional months to accommodate public participation. The New Nation movement, which is the originator of the challenge against the 1998 Electoral Act that excluded independents from running in provincial and national elections, says the extension is welcome, but timeframes to complete the process are likely to be much longer.
Inevitably, there are still components, fundamental components to the draft bill as it has been adopted, that are highly problematic and that do not begin to do justice to the cause that the Concord ruling was meant to address. And so inevitably, we as not civil society necessarily, but we as the citizens, and the 77 civil society movements that have already registered their opposition, their rejection of the draft bill as it is, are going to take this matter back to court. In fact, I understand the Independent Candidates Association will or has already begun filing papers to that effect to contest the bill as it is. Which will inevitably probably take about a year. It takes several months just to gain access, amongst other things. And we are looking at about a year's further delay, which obviously stands as a gross risk to the elections of 2024.
The Electoral Act was declared unconstitutional by the Apex Court in 2020. Leader of the Build One South Africa Party and electoral reform activist Musi Maimane outlines what some of these problematic aspects of the bill are in its current form.
If you look at the current bill that they've proposed, it's like saying to somebody, if we were running a comrades marathon, if you want to be independent, you can run, but you must run barefoot, you must run backwards, and you are not going to get anything to drink. Koba. And see if you win. That's pretty much what they've done. They've said, yeah, we agree. The Concord says we must include these people, but we're going to make it impossible. In little things, you need 15,000 signatures. The political party only needs 1,000. You need, the deposit is higher for independents than it is for a political party. You only can participate in a province, not nationally. So all of those things, they've literally made it impossible.
The bill is a result of the Ministerial Advisory Committee that was appointed by Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, to advise him as to how to ensure the Electoral Act is compliant with the Constitution in time for the 2024 elections, as ordered by the Apex Court. 2 opinions emerged, according to Dr. Stembile Mbete, a political lecturer at the University of Pretoria and member of the committee.
3 members of the committee went with option 1, which was basically an option to make as minimal a change as possible to the current electoral system. So to change the electoral system in as much as was required to comply with the judgment, and that alone. 4 of us advocated a more wholesale change, which was a mixed member model with single member constituencies. So basically that we adapt the local government system that we have and apply it to national and to provincial. So that you have 200 of the 400 MPs in Parliament be directly elected by constituencies in a first-past-the-post system, and 200 of the MPs be elected through a closed-list proportional representation system.
Granting a further extension for consultation on the bill will have serious implications for the IEC's preparations for the next general election. The commissioners have raised concerns over the tight timeframes.
In order to have a well-managed election, you need certainty on the electoral system at least 18 months before. It's no matter of administrative luxury for the Electoral Commission. It's no matter of administrative convenience for the Electoral Commission, but it's It's about an imperative to make proper arrangements in order to give meaning to the right to vote.
If you're going to have constituencies, it's definitely not something that there's going to be time for us as an election management body to implement for 2024.
The New Nation movement says it appreciates that the IEC, by its own admission, needs an 18-month lead time to successfully run the elections. However, it has done so in less time during the country's inaugural democratic elections and the 2021 local elections. It says avoiding delays in holding of elections must not supersede the fundamental aim of the electoral reform project, which is to give justice to the people.
There's a sense in which people are saying through various polls that have been run by various organizations that they simply don't know who to vote for. So I almost have a sense that there'll be a sense of apathy in the electorate about whether or not it's postponed by 6 months or not. If anything, the paramount question on their minds is who do we vote for? Who do we elect? Who do we bestow our trust in again to represent us truly and to carry this country forward in a direction that all of us desire for ourselves and for the sake of posterity.
2023 will see many more engagements with regards to the Electoral Amendment Bill, which will determine timeframes for the 2024 polls and what the political landscape will look like then and into the future. Natasha Piri, SABC News, Johannesburg.